6 upside down.
Are back with another deal of the week review, and this time I am in a completely different background. I just spent the last hour and a half filming over 60 short form videos in this extremely humid garage here in Barcelona, Spain. I am currently on tour with the rest of the guys from Modball, and we are driving 138 supercars from Rome to Ibiza, or Ibiza as they would pronounce it here in Spain. It's cool. You guys know that if you came from the very beginning, and if you haven't come from the very beginning, you need to watch this video that my team is going to put somewhere here on when we first launched this YouTube channel. We launched it doing the Modball video. And it was the start of my YouTube channel. It was cool because not only did I get the time to be able to be behind the camera and get that experience and just overall enjoy the trip, which the trip was extremely fun. That's I think why I'm back here, driving this amazing Lamborghini Urus that was given to me by the team over at PET. For anybody who doesn't know, I actually drove with him last year. Alim from PET, I drove with him in his Bugatti from Milan to Monaco last year, and they gave me this amazing Lamborghini Urus for this trip and took care of absolutely everything for me. So if you ever need an exotic car rental and you're in the UK, they are amazing. I really wanted to take this moment of me being here to not necessarily talk about a specific deal that I just closed recently, but I want to talk to you guys about the Stockton project that I've been working on, which is my very first investment property. Now, I bought this property when I was 22. I was actually 21 at the time that I went into contract, and I turned 22 while I was in escrow. I remember because I closed on February 19th of 2021, and it was my first long-term rental property, but the goal for me was that I was planning on using this home for the long term. Now, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to get myself into a deal if I purchased a property where I was going to have to come in with 15 or 20% down, because at the time I had just gotten into real estate. I was young. I had just started to make money. Like right before in 2020, I had just hit my first 10K month, and I had like $40,000 saved up, and I was like, I need to go purchase a property. And so luckily my parents were willing to get onto the loan with me since I didn't qualify for normal financing at the time. And so I ended up doing conventional financing to purchase this property. I ended up doing conventional financing with a 5% down payment. So to walk through the specifics, I'm going to run through this and then I'll give you guys the details of everything craziness that's been happening with this property. But I bought this house for $370,000. I put a 5% down payment, which was $18,500. Now, because I negotiated this deal, I was actually the real estate agent and I was the loan officer on this deal. So I ended up double ending the deal. But not only that, I also knew the sellers. So when I talked to the sellers, I said, hey, I know that for this house, you're wanting to get 360. Our real estate team was actually going to be putting her house on the market. And I said, instead of listing it on the market, why don't you just sell it to me and I'll buy it from you for 370. But instead of you giving it to me for the 370 and you making more money, give me $10,000 back in closing cost credits. If you've watched some of my other deal of the week reviews, you know that I preach about using seller credits in order to grow your real estate portfolio quickly and efficiently, because it allows you to bring less money to the table while continuing to purchase more real estate. So I've been preaching this since I bought my very, very first investment property. And so I ended up 5% down. I really didn't need to do 5% down. I only needed to do 3, but I wanted to just put a little bit more money in the deal. So I ended up putting $18,500. My principal balance was $351,500. My interest rate was a whopping 2.5% on a 30-year fixed mortgage, which unfortunately, no, I cannot get you a 2.5% interest rate today. But 4 years ago, when we had an interest rate of this market, people were getting in at amazingly low interest rates, and it's a property that I'm never going to refinance. Like, I'm going to pay off this loan, and then maybe once it's paid off, I'll think about tapping it into the future. Principal and interest payment alone, $1,388, which is insanely low for a property of this purchase price. Homeowner's insurance is $1,200 per year. Monthly PMI at the time was $170 per month. Property taxes was coming in at about $4,000 a year. In total, my payment was around $1,950 per month. Luckily, I actually had my house reappraised last year to remove my monthly PMI, and the appraisal came in at $550,000. So I have not only made almost $200,000 in equity on this house, but I was also able to remove my monthly PMI, leaving my monthly mortgage payment right now somewhere around $1,700 a month. It's absolutely insane because market rent for this house is nearly $2,500. When I first purchased it, I put zero money into fixing up the property. And a year later, when I ended up turning it into a rental, I was able to get $2,500 a month for rent. Today, I'm actually doing a major renovation project on this house, converting it into a duplex. I've already spent over $50,000 in the renovations. I'm going to be getting nearly $5,000 a month in rental income. This property is going to be my highest producing long-term rental in cash flow. It's going to pay for the Lamborghini and my other cars, and that's literally why I continue to purchase more real estate. That's why I continue to preach to you guys why it's so important to think about the ways that you can get yourself into real estate investing early. And it's not about having to come in with all of the money. It's not about your income. There's always a creative way that we can figure out how to get you into the property. I want you guys to take that experience of just understanding where you can handle all of the deal flow and how you can get into a property like this, because I ended up using my real estate commission, my loan officer commission, my seller credits to only bring $25,000 to the table when I purchased this property. And I bought down an extremely low interest rate, which today is allowing me to cash flow almost $4,000 a month. I know this was a lot different of a deal of the week review that I've done in the past, and I hope that you guys found it informative. If you guys are new here, this is a channel where I love to express to you guys the things that are getting my clients into their next investment properties, how my clients are making money, how I'm making money on my own deals, and also I post weekly vlogs every single Friday where I take you guys through a day in the life of a CEO who's running a multi-million-dollar company, trying to continue to scale my real estate portfolio and just provide value to the community. And so if you guys haven't seen my last deal of the week video, you should check it out either here or here, wherever my team puts it up for you guys. But I appreciate you guys sticking around. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you guys in the next deal of the week.